the easiest 28 weeks and the hardest 4 days of pregnancy. I had no idea really that things went wrong, so wrong that they were deadly. If I didn't give birth when I did, my OB said that we would have lost myself and my daughter. But the beauty in that is that I didn't know how sick I was. I didn't really have time to panic, but I had HELLP syndrome and preeclampsia. Now, preeclampsia is very well known, and the Journal of American Medicine just came out with a big study about preeclampsia. And now there's a new blood test that can help detect, in some cases, if there is a higher incidence of possibility of preeclampsia, which is absolutely amazing. And I'm so excited about. Preeclampsia is an increased elevation in your blood pressure. Now, normal is really anything 125 over 80, 85. It's important to note when you are pregnant, your blood pressure is generally a little bit elevated because you're beating for two and your body is working for two people. So it's doing more work. It's going to put a little bit more strain on your heart. But preeclampsia is a huge increase. My blood pressure, I think, was something like 190 over 150, which is near stroke and seizure levels. But again, didn't even realize that I had that. So moms out there, if you're listening, if you notice in yourself that you have an increase in swelling in your hands and your feet and your face, and also if you start to hurt on the right side of your back and the upper body and towards your shoulders, or you start to feel dizzy or have headaches, please, please, please go to the doctor. I really didn't have any of those symptoms except for the swelling. But prior to those like 4 or 5 days, I had only gained 6.5 pounds through my whole pregnancy. So I really thought that it was kind of catching up with me now that I had hit the 3rd trimester.
So you're starting to feel some things in your body and you're thinking, well, this makes sense because I haven't gained that much weight and I'm supposed to gain weight. So maybe this is just not like a linear progression, but sort of a leapfrog or something. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes. And being pregnant my first time, I really didn't have anything else to compare it to.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel headaches. I didn't feel dizzy. I didn't feel any of the other things. But that was one indication. When my preeclampsia actually elevated to HELLP syndrome, which stands for basically like your lipids, your liver, all your blood indicators are out of whack. And there could be kidney damage. It could turn deadly. Actually, my urine turned orange the day before. And the morning of my daughter's birth, I started to see double. And those are huge signs of HELLP syndrome that can turn deadly. I walked into my OB's office that day at 12:30. He immediately took one look at me, took my blood pressure and said, "We're going to the hospital and we're not going to leave until we have this baby." And I was so confused. And again, so sick. I didn't even understand what was happening.
So you're going into your doctor's appointment thinking, I'm not feeling great. What would have happened had you not taken agency and said, I think I need to see a doctor?
I wouldn't be here today, and nor would my daughter.
Thank you for listening to Stork'd with your host, Julia Carroll. This podcast is changing the conversation around the ways people define and create family. If you like what you hear, please support us by sharing with friends and following on Instagram at Stork'd_podcast. We also always appreciate it when you rate and review us wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. For more information, visit storkedpodcast.com to sign up for our newsletter. That's STORKD podcast.com.